It's calm. It's not warm, but not too cold. Oh, look how horrible that looks. I worked all day out here yesterday. And I did sweep up the hoof prints, so let's see if we see any new. That's something. That looks like a bird. That's a bird. That's a big bird. But I'm not seeing any deer. So this is the marigold bed. I harvested all of those marigolds. It took me all day long. But I filled. I need to pull some of this stuff off. It's just a little bit nippy. See, look at my wagon. That's all. I didn't do all the marigolds because, see, there's still that flower bed, which I am not looking forward to doing. But, I have a rock in my slipper. That's the marigolds. That's a big container full that I have to dry out. I need to combine all these sunflower seeds because I'm going to need another container. I do it like this so that it still dries. It dries better, it keeps it from molding. And I just keep checking them. See how dry they are, and then the ones that get closer to being dry, I transfer to a small cardboard box, bring it in the house, and then I stir it till it's really, really dry. And that's how I harvest them. It just kind of makes it easier for me. I don't have to put a lot of work into it. It's already a lot of work collecting the seeds. I don't want to make drying and everything else. Oh, that looks so pretty out there. Harder. Oh, my fig tree is like, the leaves are like not liking this. It's just that I have a cart that I put this on usually. And I drag the cart in and out when it gets nicer. And I need to do that. And I'm just avoiding, because that's the one thing I hate doing. But I need to, like, stop avoiding it and just do it. Because it's getting to the time. Look at that Swiss chard. It's crazy. Swiss chard does so good in cold weather. Like, that's definitely something that you can rely on. I think I'm going to pull this watermelon today because, I mean, I don't even have a watermelon on it. It just didn't do. My daughter successfully grew a little bit of watermelon the first year we tried, and I have been unsuccessful at it. I'm gonna keep trying, obviously, until I get watermelon, but darn it, I don't know. Oh, look at that bee. Look at him. It's a bit cold for him to be out here. He's a traveling guy. He acts like something's wrong. Like one of his wings isn't working. Maybe he's just now thawing off. Oh, look at how pretty that flower is. Still kind of waiting to see if these other ones bloom. At least this year I got to know a couple of the colors. Last year, I had no idea. All I had was a big green bush. And this winter, you'll see that it'll stay green. The carnations do so well in cold weather. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, that one died off. I need to pull that out. That's a Cosmo. They're very delicate. I mean, they'll grow like weeds, but as soon as it's cold, bam, they die. I think I might pull this pumpkin too. I'll just be done with it because it's not like it. None of it, this stuff likes to be covered, I can tell. Bruce is poo-poo ka-chewing. And I have to be careful. Don't want to ruin his privacy. So this gives me an opportunity to finally make a decision on how I want this bed to look. I have a feeling that next year I'm going to have a million marigolds, so I might as well just leave it the way it is. I did have a couple lilies that popped up that I didn't really pay attention. I don't know if they'll survive. We'll see what happens. But I think I'm going to start thinking about what I can do with this bed and poof it. It's got to somewhat match these two, but I don't want to block this one because I like to stand and look out the window in the wintertime. I don't want it to look... Last year was very depressing to me because it looked so trashy. And I'd look at, and the only time it didn't look trashy was when everything was covered in snow. So that made it better. Oh, this thing is dying off too. Look at that. That is so brown. So, I mean, at least that was the green pumpkin. And now it's full on almost orange. So I'll probably bring that in, fold up these, I gotta put all this stuff in the wash. And then fold that stuff up and I use it for next year. It's just my ripped up bedding. Oh, my stomach is growling. Haven't had my orange juice yet. I gotta do something with these sunflowers soon. I mean, those birds are going crazy over them though. This is the longest I've ever left them like that. I just gotta go just start chopping them down. It's just a lot of work. We gotta turn the outdoor water off because it didn't freeze last night, but it froze yesterday. But today, my goal is to, thank goodness this one isn't a lot. So I'm going to pull these out. I think the zinnias, I've tried to harvest those before and replant, and I wasn't that successful. So I don't really want to do it again because I buy these at the dollar store anyway. And yes, I bought a lot of the marigolds at the dollar store. But the marigolds that I buy at the dollar store are yellow, and I only get like 2 or 3 of them that come back. These orange ones I harvested from ones I bought at Ace, and then harvest them, and then these came back. But the other ones don't. And I can tell because these ones are the orange ones. You know, so that's what I plan to do today. I literally have, like, I can barely get her together a bouquet of sunflowers. I think there's some up here. I left a few up here so that I could do Norma bouquets for a couple days in a row. I left that one, which is a lot, and then there's one down. I was hoping to harvest that head down there if it blooms. This one can go to Norma. That second one right here, I want to harvest at least one of the heads. I don't need to harvest any of that one. And then that third one can go to Norma. I was just going to give her those 3 and let her, or there's 4 actually. And then harvest those 2. Ugh, I like how much better that looks. More smooth. Less weeds. And then I got to floof up this. Okay, so my idea for the wagon wheels, I hate that they're purple. And clearly, leaving them outside for 2 years, now they're like white. And this one's got like blue. I don't know. I'm going to definitely have to try to get... The thing about putting paint remover is it just... I don't want to spend a lot of time scrubbing that stuff off. I was just hoping that like the weather would help take it off. But I'm going to... My daughter's like, just spray paint them brown. And I'm like, spray paint. And I just want them to look like this one. That's all I want. I want them to look like this one. I wish they matched. But somebody painted them purple. And then apparently before that white. And apparently before that blue. Or maybe one was white and one was blue. I don't know. Maybe that's why they spray painted both of them purple. But I can't stand the purple color. So I want to put them back here and do something different with this bed up here. I don't know what I want to do. That's why it keeps changing every year. I keep testing things out. It's kind of like a little nursery. I loved it when I had the gladiolas there that first year. But for some reason, gladiolas just do terrible here. And they're only $1 at the dollar store. What are you doing, Bruce Fur? You just sitting over there? What's up, buddy? Get your toy. Get your toy. He's just enjoying the morning. I didn't get any of the tools put away. It took me all day. I kept pushing myself. Taking breaks and pushing myself. I'm like, no, I just want to get it done. And, let me tell you what. I was very, very happy when it was done, but I fell asleep like at 7 o'clock. I was like, damn, out. And I'm still exhausted and tired from it. Just from sitting there with scissors, cutting all the heads off, and then pulling out. I didn't even empty my wagon. I just kept filling it. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I was going to try to get to this, but that did not happen. So maybe that'll be today video. I was thinking about moving my videos to doing the afternoon videos. Oh, that sun feels good. It's warming up. See, these two, I've been trying to milk these two for as long as I can because look how big those got. I mean, those have gotten really big. Serenity has a ton of pumpkins and she loves playing with them. And I grew obviously a bunch of different kinds. So now we know, what I'm going to grow and, just trying out stuff, seeing. That's all I've been doing, seeing what works, what doesn't. My goal is to get watermelon to grow. Look how beautiful that succulent is. Beautiful, beautiful. Next year, that one over here is going to be about half the size of this. They grow that massive. Like, you don't think that that thing is anything. If you look at my last year's videos, that thing was just a little tiny thing. And then, bam. Like, it's amazing. And my daughter's had hers for 3 or 4 years now, and hers is really full, but it doesn't keep getting bigger, bigger, bigger. I mean, it gets to a certain point, and then it just stays there. Let's see. Like, see hers is way over there, and it's gorgeous. We absolutely love it. And mine's a baby from hers. She got hers from her best friend, Sam. And she's got it right next to her daisy. And then right, okay, see there's a succulent. And then right here, I bought her this thing called Jewel of the Desert. And it is so cute. It has these beautiful orange blooms. It's super tiny, and it's like it's only like this tall. And it spreads. And it's called Jewel of the Desert. She likes cactus, succulents. Those are like her, like she has a ton of those different types. I buy her different kinds, different colors. And some of them grow really well, and then some she kills, but I just buy her something else. She loves them. She's got her little dining room is just full of all of her little tiny plants. Her plants are a lot smaller. And then she's got cute little pots that I find here and there. And I keep the ugly pots. I'm more of the recycler person. And then she is the more like little delicate, tiny glass pots that can't be outside. And if you can't go outside, I don't really like it because it's not fun. I don't know how she became such an inside person and I'm such an outside person. Because maybe I had her outside too much. I don't know. I need to do the garlic today too. I need to get those seeds. I love how the birds are letting me get so close to them. I mean, these guys are pudgy little things. Such a great way to spread sunflowers because they're going to eat them and then go and poo-poo-ka-choo everywhere. And maybe we'll start seeing sunflowers. I thought I would see some this year. Wow, he mowed a lot back there. Whoa. I am stunned. I'm so used to not being able to see. Oh, I had no idea there was a fence there. Look at that. That's like a whole nother lot. That's amazing. So the truck must be his. Because it's on his property. Because there's another fence. Wow, I didn't even know this was like a whole... So it must be like a third lot. Because he owns this one, and then the one behind is the one he lives in. It's a nice little spot back there. This was his father-in-law's. So, and then his wife inherited it, and then she passed. And so he ended up with this lot, and then this one came in. Is that a bathtub? What is that? It's gray. Maybe it's just like some kind of a tub, but it looks like it has feet. Looks like it's upside down and has feet. But man, I can't believe that. Holy cow. I've never seen it clear. It's always been with all that bush, like super tall and crazy. Man, that would have been really good if you would have did that in the spring. It would have really helped with mosquitoes because the mosquitoes love to live in all this. And we usually cut Ours, I mean, mine's grown quite a bit. But we usually just mow it down. Man, I'm so tired of the deer. Like, I've had to keep repairing this fence because the deer just keep bending it. That's why I planted the sunflowers coming all the way out, was to prevent. They still jump over right here. And I tried to plant a few things that I thought maybe they didn't like right here, but that didn't deter them. So if I'm going to want them to stop jumping, I'm going to have to spend $50 on that brown stuff. And then I'm going to plant a tree right here. I think I'm going to do the nectarine tree right here. One of them. I'm going to do 2 nectarines. I'm going to do it actually right here, which means that they're still going to jump. So I'm going to have to block this for like 2 or 3 years until the nectarine tree gets big enough to have this whole area. Maybe I'll take the irises, but my dog is like stomping them down. They're going to be great though next year. They're going to come back full force. And maybe I'm going to take the irises and maybe go along this whole edge right here. And then it'll take a little while for them to get big enough. But once they get big enough, like those right there, the deer won't jump over all that because they're spiky. So it'll prevent. I think I'll pull all these and put those like along that edge, and then put a cover on that. You're a little heavy to be sitting on them sunflowers. He's a little chunky dude. They're all chirping this morning. Alrighty. Time for me to go upload my videos. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Look how beautiful those are. The trees, the yellow. Gorgeous. Eventually, we're trying to let trees grow up in between these spaces that we have so that nobody lives in that house anymore. But we just want a full wall. And then we're going to try to encourage these. And then we're going to cut all these ones. We're waiting, might pick one because this tree doesn't do that well. We've trimmed off what was bad. It's never been a very pretty tree. We're trying to see what this winter does. Maybe next spring it'll do better now that we've cut a lot of it off. But it's just not, we need to cut that, I don't know. Maybe cut it down and just let one of these other ones take its place. Is what we're thinking. Because that one just doesn't, right from the start when we moved here, it did not look good. And these ones, this one right here, the first winter we were here, got struck by lightning. Wait, it was this one. Not that one. It had 2 arms like this one. It was a school marm or whatever they call those. It was this one right here. And one day we came out, and I mean, there was a lightning storm that night. And then the next day when we came out, one whole arm, like all the way down to the base, was broke off, laying in the yard. And then in the grass, and it's still out there. There was this horrid, like, the whole grass, everything was just charred, and it had like these crazy, and the whole thing was just dead. And we were like, whoa. And then it snowed, and so we didn't get to see it until the spring, but it stayed like that for about 2 years. Even when we mowed it, it was just all that spot was just dead. There was like nothing was growing there, not weeds, not anything. And it was like crazy veins everywhere. And it was like grass in between it, but it was like wide veins. There was no covering it up. And it stayed like that for about 2 years. And then last year, it just all filled in. And the tree didn't die. We did cut the arm off. And that was how I first built my garden. That was what I first had, were pieces from that tree, which is right back here. I put in, we had cut it in pieces. My daughter, there wasn't it was a big branch, but when you splitting it between two people that wanted to use different pieces, like she made a bunch of things she had some ideas that she wanted to do. So we split the wood up and tried to divide it to where I did not end up with hardly anything. I ended up with that ring of wood pieces. That was it. And, but we utilized that thing all the way down to nothing. It was our first piece of scrap wood, and we were going to town on it. It was funny. So, and she's got she made these really cool centerpieces with the wood slabs, sanded it, varnished it. She made all kinds of crafty stuff that whole winter. Because we cut the arm as soon as we saw it. We instantly cut all the limbs off of it, the dead limbs. And we just had the one log, and then we cut it up into pieces so that we could stack it. And then she just pilfered it through those pieces that first winter with all her little art projects that she was doing. So that went fast. Look at all these birds in here. What a mess that looks. It looks like such a mess. And who knows now at this point? I'm like, oh my goodness. So many. Oh, guess what? I got rid of that big box of sunflowers. Remember I told you I peddled it to the store and then I put it outside and I wrote free sunflowers on it. Nobody took it. My daughter told me about it, so I was like, oh my gosh. So I figured I would just go. That was like 2 or 3 days ago. 3 days ago. And then, so it sat there all that night, and then the next day, and then, so my daughter told me about it, and I was like, all right, I'll go back and get it. And so, oh, there's a kitty cat running. So I went to go get it, and the manager, I'm friends with her, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, but can't really leave that stuff here. I'm like, I figured somebody would take it that night. But anyway, I was talking to her about it. There was another lady in the store, and she was like, oh my gosh, I would love to grow sunflowers. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please take the whole box. So she ended up taking the whole box. I gave her my little business card, my Lamborghini's business card type thing. I gave that to her so she could go to my channel and she could see all the different color sunflowers that are in that box. So it ended up working out. I ended up meeting somebody really cool. And she's going to be on my channel, and she travels all over Oregon, which is really cool. And she took my sunflowers. I was so happy. So I got to come up with a different plan, because I had to physically talk to somebody in order for them to know, that it was okay for them to take the sunflower. So she didn't take the whole box, so I hope she took the whole box. Oh, here's a Bruce. Oh, man. So that was exciting. I was so happy about that. And that means she travels all over the place, and she's going to plant some here. And then I told her just, harvest some of the seeds. And then you can, everywhere you go, you can plant your sunflowers. So that was really cool. And what a cool way to spread sunflowers. It was like the perfect person to meet. Her name was Christy. Hi, Christy. Alrighty. Oh, 30-minute video. All right, I'm going. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.